go, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. It's the Bottom Line Live right here at Studio 02, brought to you by Chance's Used Auto Parts in Tawnytown, Maryland. Scrap Daddy himself, putting out the deals in the used cars and parts. Welcome, my friends. Welcome, my friends. Elbows Up, Their Productions. I'm Tommy Cardell. Fast Freddie Keister back here on the AV board, getting the job done. Had a busy, a way busy last 4 days, and it got hot out. That's right, it got hot. You ain't no doubt about it. It got hot at the races, on and off the track. We're going to go ahead and get down to business here and get things cracking. Okay, amongst everything else, allergies are through the roof. That's right. My Lord, everything is solid yellow outside. It's crazy. And it's hot. I mean, it got hot. It went from one extreme to the other. That's right. One extreme to the other. Being at Sealings Grove last Thursday night, it was like bitter cold, or it felt like it was bitter cold. To yesterday, it was like a blast furnace, an inferno. In fact, it got so hot, shut down the equipment. And overheat mode. So we had to go see our friends, the Snooks. That's right. Todd Snook, faithful Todd, fixed us up. He got us some ice and contraption there, and we iced the equipment down and got back live for you. But we do apologize for that little hiccup. Once again, I'm Tommy Cardell. This is the Bottom Line, ladies and gentlemen. We're here on the east side, downtown Roseville, Studio 02. The first thing we'll get down to business with is the East Coast Legends. That's right, the East Coast Legends, our weekly recap that we always do. East Coast Legends, owned and operated by the Freeze family, Freeze Motorsport, Freeze. And then we'll get back here, brought to you by D.H. Martin Excavating, over 50 years in the business. That's right, residential, commercial, agricultural, excavation, and utility work, the title sponsor for the East Coast Legends. Fred, we doing good? Fred says we're doing good. We know that. Okay, here we are. East Coast Legends, 35 entries. They're at the quarter-mile bull ring and spring run. That's right, the small track with the big action. You know it and I know it. And I tell you, the track, she was superb. It was. We didn't think we'd get that show in. I don't think anybody thought they'd get a Saturday show in because the weather was good, and then all of a sudden they said a big swath of rain was coming down through the state, and everybody scrambled. And I tell you, it didn't look good at all. I got to be honest. But they sealed the track up there at Path Valley. Couple raindrops here, couple raindrops there. And we had a juiced up, hammer down racetrack. Multi-lane, multi-groove racing at its finest. That's right. 35 signed in. We seen Jeremy Ott. That's right. Jeremy Ott, fourth win of the season, ladies and gentlemen, that number 10 machine. Second, Lincoln Kirshner. Third, Colton Freeze. Fourth, Seth Kirshner. That's right. Two Kirshners there in the top five. Scott Musselman rounded out your fifth-place finisher. It was Walgeman. I had to think there for a minute. Owen Walgeman, he was on the point to start the feature. Musselman on the outside. Somewhere in about 10 laps or so, he put the hammer down, and he was going. It wasn't no looking back, my friends, no looking back. Good race overall. It was a good race overall. A lot of good racing. 4 heat races, 1 B main, and then the A main. Now, the next show will be at Winchester, the action track in Winchester, Virginia. This Saturday, gates at 4, hots at 6. And that's for your East Coast Legends, ladies and gentlemen. So there you have it. Your East Coast Legends race recap brought to you by David H. Martin Excavating. Okay, let's get down to business now. We got Dan's Auto Repair located on the east side, downtown Rouserville. You go down there, you get a full or major overhaul, minor overhaul, inspection, oil changes, brakes, rotors, the whole 9 yards. See Chad down there, Dan's Auto Repair. Quality business, been in the area for, as long as I can remember, as I was a little boy. That's right, in the east side, downtown Rouserville. Here we go. Let's roll through them. So we got some stuff here to talk about. We'll stay at Path Valley. That's right, we'll stay at Path Valley at the Bull Ring and finish up there. We seen the Thunder cars there. They always put on one heck of a show. At the end of the night, we seen Ronnie Buck. That's right, Ronnie Buck in that classic number 55 machine. He parked that thing in Victory Lane. He's ran a lot of seconds, but I'll be damned. This time there was no holding Ronnie Buck back from parking her in Victory Lane. You know, Ronnie Buck's been racing a long time, my friends. He's responsible for building a lot of them chassis in the Thunder car class. So I was tickled. like many others were, to see Ronnie Buck victorious. How about this? We've seen Gunnar Walls, Kid Smooth. That's right. He got he finished 10th in his debut in the Thunder Car. That's right. He got in the Thunder Car there Saturday night, ran her 10th place. 270s, TA wore 270s. We've seen Zach Glass was a winner. Long overdue win for Zach. Happy for him. 600s, Randy Kunkel. Randy Kunkel and Jimmy Young putting on one heck of a battle. Unfortunately, Jimmy Young smoked the motor there in the 600s. When them 600cc motors go, they go, buddy. I mean, they kapow. And, Randy Kunkel, he had some ill fate there at McGrew Bid Friday night, but gathered her back up and parked her in Victory Lane Saturday. Craig Perigo, Wingless Sportsman's victorious in the 1A. Luke Lanker led 75% of that race. And, at the end of the day, Doyle was there. Doyle was having a really good run. And Perigo, he's smooth and steady. And he ended up, getting under Luke there for the win, and away he went. So there you have it, Path Valley Speedway, ladies and gentlemen. Hagerstown, that's right. They were back in action with the Spring Fling. We had 34 late model sportsmen signed in, or limited late models, whatever you want to call them. 34 signed in, 34. That was a good car count. So at the end of the night, we seen Levi Crowell. He parked in a Victory Lane. Levi obviously hasn't ran in several years, and got back in running a Brian Booz machine. And I believe it's the C2, not the B2. And, he ran there a couple weeks back and did well, and he got the Parker this time. How about Showtime? Kyle Lear in the 1MD, the throwback to Mo DeFano, ran second. Kyle Lee in the Bruce Kane number 15, P3. Sean Shoemaker broke out the old limited. That's right. Sean broke out his limited again there, ran fourth. And then Brian Booz in the B2 ran fifth. So Crowell, Lear, Lee, Shoemaker, Booz. Crates. We seen Mike Walls. That's right. Mike Walls in the I believe 1W. He was victorious in the crates. After relation there to Chaz, so I'm sure they were pretty tickled. That's right. Don't forget Chaz. Chaz used auto parts, ladies and gentlemen. You know that. Studio 02. You can't go wrong. Jason Giesman, second place. That's right. Brady Neff, third. Brady Neff's first year. I mean, he's running good. Second and third. Jacob Burdett. Burdett, we know, picked up that win at Winchester weeks ago. And he stuck her in there for P4 Saturday night. Roy Deese Jr., bad boy Roy. He ran fifth. 305's Timmy Bittner. That's right, in the 011. And Crown Vic's Dacron Pyle. He seems to be winning a lot of these Crown Vics. I think I say his name a lot every week. Yeah, I hope. Dacron. Maybe Dacron. I'm going to have to get with him. Make sure I'm saying that right. I don't want to mess somebody's name up. Let me get a drink of water. Fred's checking it out. He'll let me know. So that was Hagerstown. They got it in. They were worried about rain too. So, Steelings Grove, Thursday night. Sand Hill, Snyder County, the big sweeper. The big, I'm telling you get the high speeds up there, baby. You know what I'm saying? World of Outlaws, they ain't been there since 2015. They were there 13, 14, 15. Darrell Lanigan was victorious all 3 years. That's right. He three-peated. Sand Hill Showdown, $20,000 on the line, my friends. $20,000 on the line. So, how'd things roll out? 39 signed in. Got some heavy hitters. There's no doubt about it. Some heavy hitters. Good local guys as well in the field. That race there, I did not think that thing was going to go because it drizzled and showered like right up the racing and even spotted rain kind of during racing. And it just, they didn't call for that all day either. It was crazy. It's crazy. You know what I mean? But, no, the crowd was good. I can't say enough for the Schick family. They put on one hell of a show there. Everything down to the crowd, the hospitality. I mean, heck, he fed us. Barbecue chicken. Can't beat that. And fireworks, whole 9 yards. At the end of the night, we seen Timmy Mack. That's right, Tim McCready, victorious. Drake Troutman second. Troutman led most of that, well, a fair amount of that race. And McCready ran him down. And, he set her on the big podium down there at Steelings Grove. Ziggy ran third. Lane Snook, let's talk about that. Won his heat race in the feature. He was rolling around there fifth for a while. He had one restart, I think. He went back to seventh. But, this is a rookie campaign year in a super late model, my friends. I mean, seriously, he's duked it out with Satterley the past month or two up there. 1-2, back and forth. And then he comes there, the best in the business, and runs her P7. Man, that's great. That's super great. So, yeah, T-Mac, Drake Troutman, Mason Ziegler, 1, 2, 3. We had 30 limited signed in. They were on the docket as well. We've seen Ryan Zook, well deserved. He's had that one coming, old Zookie, and he won that. Sean Miller was second in Steve Campbell's machine. Third, we've seen Dalton Bigler. Fourth, Tyson Mowry. He's in the Fick family. That's right. Beautiful car too, by the way. The Tyson Mowry machine. Good run for him. Real good run. Trayton Lee in the Bruce Kane 15 Limited runs fifth. Unfortunates, Rank blew a motor. Myers, unfortunate, he blew one. Garmin blew one. It was bitter cold up there too, guys. I'm serious. It was. It felt bitter cold. It was damp. It was just, everybody was layered up. Ugh. But the racing was incredible. The track was incredible. Hammer down, my friends. Winchester. Let's go down to Winchester, Virginia, the action track. Crate Late Models, Devin Brandon victorious. David Kaiser second. Third, Braden Armel. There you go, Braden Armel, getting on the P3 on the podium. Good for Braden Armel. Mods. Michael Altabelli. That's right. Ray Cable second. Cody Williams third. Blake Tasker fourth. Mikey Corbin, my buddy Mikey Corbin. Mikey Corbin in that familiar number. Wait, Ernie's number 25. He parks at P5 for the night. Brian Luttrell, pure stock winner. Chris Sumption, he won the hobby stock. So Wilkins didn't get his, I guess he would have been on like 5 for 5 if he'd have won. But yeah, something happened there. And Sumption won. So good for them. Port Royal, Keith Kaufman Classic. I believe this was a redo because of a rain out. Lo and behold, it was Dietz time. That's right. Chase Dietz, he stuck at P1, 2, Reitzel. Anytime to beat Reitzel, I'm happy. Troy Waldman Jr., third. Waldman's been consistent as well. Obviously, I don't follow sprint cars, that heavily. But I do read his name a lot, and he's running there. He's running decent. A lot of high limit guys there because Eldura scratched with rain. So they headed there because obviously we'll talk about it coming up this weekend is the big $100,000 Wecker Memorial Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But, so apparently that was a pretty interesting show up there. Pretty interesting show. Chase Dietz victorious. Georgetown, I know we're a little out of order. Georgetown was actually Wednesday night. World of Outlaws. Bobby Pierce, the smooth operator, parks it. 50 wins for Bobby Pierce in the World of Outlaws. That's right. First time at G-Town, 1 for 1. 1 for 1. Gustin, second. Hoffman, third. That's right. Eckert got a hard charger, 20th to 10th. Good run for him. That was a split show with mods. Remember, we had, the likes of Friesen, Christopher Bell in the house. Okay. But at the end of the night, the mods went to Alex Yarkowski. I think I got it right. Yarkowski? Maybe we'll try Yarkowski. Okay. Alex Yarkowski. But yeah, Bobby Pierce victorious up at Georgetown. Then they headed to Sealings Grove the next day. It was a long stretch for them guys. It was a long stretch for us. Marion Center goes Friday night. That's right, up by old Puxatawney Phil. The Puxatawney Phil Museum, my friends. That's right. And that's home of Greg Satterley up in that Indiana, PA area. World of Outlaw time. We were up there last year with ULMS and Zuver and Company. It was a pretty good show. Pretty good show. We got up there, and they have new clay on the track. Hasn't been ran on yet because they haven't had a show in because of the weather. So they had split features. 6,000 apiece. They were non-points for each feature. The first feature, we've seen the 1Z, Logan Zarin, my friend, considered a local close to that area. Logan Zarin parks it. That's right. He started on the front row. He parks it. He had to drive through lap traffic. He did. I mean, you get around that thing, you're going to drive through lap traffic. There's no doubt about it. A little dusty up there. It was. A little gritty. Feature 2, Jared Miley. A local fellow. That's right. Miley, he parks it in Victory Lane on the second feature. Unfortunately, Saturday got canceled. Saturday was the big Fadoo at Marion Center. $30,000. Remember, it was the 16th annual Connor Bobbick Memorial Weekend. That's right. 30,000 lay on the line Saturday. But unfortunately, the rain got the best of them. And we'll talk about when that reschedule is here coming up. Okay? They did reschedule it. I think they held her out a good ways because it was like, from what I understand, near 7 o'clock before they pulled the plug on her. But, yeah, wish she would have got it in. I truly do. We went to Path Valley. So we went to Selinsgrove Thursday, Selinsgrove Thursday, Friday, Marion Center, Saturday, Path Valley. The Dog Pound. Woo, Dog Hollow. That's right. Limited late models, Brad Benton first, second Brian Benton, third Matt Ball, and Mike Blazer. Mike Blazer fourth. We went to see Mike Blazer Friday on the way to Marion Center. And God help him and his family. God rest her, his wife. She passed away in March. And Mike's taking his race car and did cancer awareness on it and is selling merch and putting that back in a Cancer Awareness Alliance, a fund, if you will. He's honoring his late wife, and they loved racing, and he's doing it through this. He's got a new longie, a horn, and a new bullet in her, and he's stoked. He's ready to race. That's right. I could tell. You could see it in his eyes. So God bless him, man. Seriously. He ran fourth at the Pound. Rush Crates, Mike Lockard first. It showed two cars. I don't understand I still ain't got the full gist of that. Avery McMillan was second. That's what it showed. But I don't know what happened there. I also heard conflictions that they ran with the limiteds because there wasn't enough. I don't know. It wasn't listed clearly on Facebook. But Dog Hollow's a lot of guys have been traveling up to Dog Hollow. Seriously, they have. I mean, Strongtown, PA. It's on the way to Marion Center. That's right. Mods, they had the modifieds there. I believe they paid $1,000. George Dixon Jr. in the 77. Mason Lobb second. Scott Daniels third. Dixon, Lobb, Daniels. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, for just tuning in, I'm Tommy Cordell from Elbows Up Dirt Productions. It's the Bottom Line in Studio 02, live here, brought to you by Chaz's Used Auto Parts. Williams Grove, 410s, Logan Rumsey. There you go, Logan Rumsey. He's been wanting one. Chase Dietz second, Zierfoss third. 358s, Cody Fletcher. He's racking the wins up, man, in that 358 sprint class. He is. He's doing good. Yeah, I give it to him. Like I said, we don't follow the wing cars, obviously, that heavy, but I do know Cody Fletcher, and he's racking them up. That's a tough class, them 358s sprints. Bedford, Friday night, okay? Limited late models / late model sportsmen are in the house. From what I understand, obviously we weren't there. We were at Marion Center. From what I understand, the track was hammer down. Yes, racy and hammer down. At the end of the night, we seen Snooky, Lane Snook. He pulled the limited back out and went racing, and he won. Brian Booz was second. Showtime was third. Fourth, Taylor Farley. Fifth, Cody Breeden. So that's a good top five. Good racing. Apparently had a lot of good racers there, you know. A lot of good racers there. Pure Stocks. Braydale Ballman. Four Cylinders, Isaac Korminski. Crown Vics. Looked like Donovan was the winner, or excuse me, Bowman was the winner there. Brandon Bowman. Seven Lates, John Miller. Yeah. Now, let's go to Sunday to Bedford. Yesterday. It was blistering hot. There's no doubt about it. She was pushing 90 yesterday. And, man, I'm going to tell you, what a crowd Bedford had for World of Outlaws. World of Outlaws. That's right. Last year, we seen Tim McCready victorious there. The year before, Bobby Pierce. So they come to town. 39 signing. 39 must be the magical number everywhere. I don't know. 39. 39 super late models in the house. Mods are there as well. I think there was only 7 or so of those. At the end of the night, it was the Billy Wynn Classic. 20,000 on the line, 40 laps around the fabulous Bedford Fairgrounds Speedway. And we seen Ziggy. That's right. The man out of Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania, in 25Z. He parks in the victory lane. Now, Dalton Wilson, Big Perm, he led 29 of those laps. Hoffman was third. Hoffman showed himself once for sure with Ziggy in second. But Ziggy powered ahead, and then Ziggy put the hammer down on the 30th lap and never looked back. It was his race. He puts her P1, $20,000 richer Sunday night at Bedford Speedway, Mason Ziegler. Feathers, local-wise, he was 7th. Good run for Trevor. Snooki, 10th place. Snooki's got a 7th and a 10th place between Selinsgrove and Bedford with the World of Outlaws. That's something to lay in bed and just rest well at night. That's good stuff there. Seriously, good for them. Good for Feathers. Causer, he got in the show as well. Yeah, I mean, the racing was a little dusty, but what do you say? I mean, it was hot out. It was bitter. It was hot. But all in all, hey, we had a good crowd there. The World of Outlaws were in town. The fans were out. There was a ton of fans up in the midway up top, visiting drivers and such. We did a pit walk there, and that's where the camera and stuff, the equipment got hot, overheated. We had to cool her down, get her back on, you know what I mean? Roaring Knob, that's right. Super late models. They ran them the other week. Remember, Sponigal was victorious. Okay, give it to Roaring Knob there for going out there and running these supers. Okay, Hardy was victorious Saturday night out at the Knob. Mike Lupfer, 2nd. Frazier, as in Troy Frazier, 3rd. Tyler Emery, 4th. Okay, Crates, Gregory Carrico. That's right. And the number 67, the Crates, Gregory Carrico. I'm sure that puts Hardy in double digits win-wise. I think Mark was counting the Shark there. I think he's maybe 11, 12, somewhere around there. If you count them all, combine them all. Okay. Super late models, Elkins. They're at Elkins. That's one of the Hurley tracks, right? That's Friday night. Hardy, victorious. Emery, 2nd. Mitch Thomas, 3rd. Remember Mitch Thomas' friend? He drives the modified. Okay? He's back in running supers. So Hardy, Emery, Thomas. Emery, what he's in. That's the cameraman, the Pete Cameron, number 72. Trevor Feathers ran it last year because, remember, Emery's been having ailing back. And now he's kind of got himself straightened out there, from what I understand. He's running again. Crates, Ryan Hare. He was victorious at Elkins, the Crates. Let me go back to Bedford. I'm sorry. I didn't tell you who won the mods. I didn't tell you who won them. George Dixon. That's right, George Dixon. He won. Dolan was 2nd. Bo Akey, 3rd. There you have it. Dixon, Dolan, Bo Akey. Baps was yesterday. Okay? 410s. Chase Dietz, victorious. I'm going to tell you, this Dietz is on a roll. Brent Marks 2nd, Logan Rumsey 3rd. I mean, Rumsey had a good weekend. He won one, ran 3rd yesterday. 358s, Derek Locke. Been around the business a long time. Cody Fletcher 2nd. So Fletcher won. And then he got a 2nd. There at Baps. That rounds her out, ladies and gentlemen. So he had a good bit of results. Good bit of results there to go through. And like I said, everything's pretty much wide open, up and running right now, full blast. And weather had everybody a little tweaked out there Saturday, but I think most everybody made it through. Okay, most everybody made it through. Ashley Yoder Designs, right? Ashley Yoder Designs. There you have it. Race car wraps, decals, sign work, design, the whole 9 yards. She gets you fixed right up. You find her on Facebook. Does beautiful, great work. Sharp work, sharp imagery. Ashley Yoder Designs. Who's hot? Super late models. We're going to go with Ziggy. That's right. We're going to go with Ziggy. Ziggy, it was probably his race at Georgetown. He broke. That's right. World Outlaws, Georgetown. Ziggy broke, but it's probably his race. You bring him back to Selinsgrove, he runs 3rd. Marion Center, he was okay. I mean, they had the 2 split features were full. Everybody started. That's the thing. Everybody got in feature 1 or feature 2. Okay? But the big money, he comes back Sunday at Bedford yesterday, and then he parks at Billy Wynn Classic, $20,000. We'll go with Mason Ziegler out of Chalk Hill, Pennsylvania. Limited late models, we're going to go with Showtime, Kyle Lear, the 1MD. He's got a couple dubs this year already. He's right there around the week in, week out. 1, 2, 3. Week in, week out. 1, 2, 3. Got a good weekend. You know what I mean? We'll go with Kyle Lear in the 1MD. Mo DeFano's riding with him. Proud. He is. 410s, that's a no-brainer. We're going to go with Chase Dietz. Okay? Keith Kaufman Classic winner. Baps winner. Throw another 2nd or so in there this weekend. I mean, he just keeps, I don't know his win count, but I mean, he's probably at double digits too. Okay? He's strong. He's real strong right now. Good momentum going into a big weekend for them guys. I mean, Troy Walkerman Jr., you give him an honorable mention. Mods, George Dixon. We'll go with George in the 77 machine. 2 wins on the weekend, okay? We'll go with George on that. So 2 modified wins for George. So there you have it. Now, Amsoil by Aaron Miller, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, your independent distributor, Amsoil Products in Washington County, Maryland, Hagerstown, Maryland. The upcoming, what we got going on coming up this weekend. I'm going to tell you what we got going on. We get a drink. Once again, if you're just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tommy Cordell. This is The Bottom Line in Studio O2, brought to you by Chance's Used Auto Parts. Path Valley, off. They're off. Memorial Day weekend. Ceilings Grove is off. They return for Arch Night on May 30th, so 2 weeks from now. Port, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's the Weichert Memorial, $100,000 on the line. High limit shows. Limited late models are on Saturday night. We went to that last year. They have them on Saturday night. That place is jam-packed. You will not have, I mean, packed ain't the word for that place up there for that. It is. I mean, I hope they get the track a little better from what I understand. From what I understand, it's been learning like run through crushed stone field. But I don't know. I'm sure they'll do the best. They'll do their best, I'm sure. Lincoln, Wednesday, meaning this Wednesday, 410s, 358 sprints. That's right. Williams Grove, Saturday, they're going to run some motorcycles, flat track style. BAPS, Extreme Stocks, 305, Super Sportsmans. That's right. Winchester, East Coast Legends, Pure Stocks, Modified Mafia, $3,000 on the line for Modified Mafia Winchester this weekend, plus Hobby Stocks. The Dog Pound, limited late models, crates, the norm up there. Roaring Knob, super late models, Crown Vics, crates, mods. Elkins, Thunder in the Mountain, my friends, Friday night. Modified Mafia's there, and Hunt the Front. It's a 10,000 and some change show. Hunt the Front at Elkins. Hagerstown, they're back May 30th. On the schedule, Hagerstown called it their Memorial Day show. Maybe it's after Memorial Day, obviously, but I guess it's when they want to do it. Potomac. Let's talk about Budds Creek, Maryland, ladies and gentlemen. Potomac. David Williams and his crew down there. Man, they got one of a doozy. Is she going to be a barn burner on Sunday? That's a Sunday show. Let me say it again. A Sunday show. 3,000 smackers on the line for limited late models this Sunday at Potomac. 2.5, $2,500 on the line for the Modified Mafia. So the Modified Mafia is in the swing. They're in the swing there. Okay, they're at Elkins, they're at Potomac, they're at Winchester. So yeah, $3,000 limiteds, 2,500 mods. Potomac, they're putting a lot into that. Strictly Stocks are on as well, Hobby Stocks and Street Stocks at Potomac. You know David Williams is going to do it right. From what I understand, we weren't there. He did his American All-Stars deal right, the crate racing thing. I was done up real good. Get down there and support those folks. That's exactly right. So that's what's going on. Now, the downfall is when you look at the weather, and I know it's only Monday, when you look at the weather, it shows starting rain Wednesday, and it runs like to the following week, beginning of the week. I know, it makes you nauseous. The weather goes back down in the mid-60s. It's not like 800 degrees out like it is today. That's crazy. It's one extreme to the other. Moving on, Tim Fights Painting. In the news, Tim Fights Painting. Residential, commercial, free estimates, exterior, interior painting, power washing, Tim Fights Painting, ladies and gentlemen. One of the best in the business, Tim Fights Painting. So, what we got in the news? Well, we seen on the sprint car world, Cameron Smith, who drives the number 75, young man, the TC bagger machine. He got in the Allen 1A. That's right, this weekend, in the Allen 1A. And, wow, that's decent stuff. Big, I mean, that's a huge step, right? They had a big crash in Hagerstown in the Limited Saturday night. That's right. Unfortunately, Braden Anderson's throttle stuck. From what we understand, his throttle stuck, and ultimately it collected. Garmin got tore up there a little bit. Bone break, I think, was able to continue. It's in a heat race. And I think Garmin managed to go back, get patched up and run the B. Piper's car, it had to be stripped down. It got hurt, but it will be better, okay? Tough break. I know Braden Anderson obviously, didn't want that to happen, but throttle stuck. You hear of that happening. So we hate to hear that for him, for everybody involved. Troutman, a little discrepancy there. He went to the rear in the feature last night. He wasn't due to start in the rear by any means. Apparently had a tire cut down, run over someone. I don't know. But he had to start in the back. He still pushed his way up through and finished 11th because Snooky finished 10th. That's right. Troutman finished 11th. Once again, Snooky, you got to give it to him, 7th and a 10th on the World of Outlaws, Selinsgrove, Bedford. They tell me there's clay been put down at Hagerstown Speedway in the turns. That's what they tell me, from mid down. There's been clay put down in the turns at Hagerstown. Appalachian Mountain Speed Week, ladies and gentlemen, starts June 5th, 7 races. It begins at Clinton County. That's right, in Mill Hall, PA. Appalachian Mountain Speed Week. 7 races. Like I said, Potomac's on there, Action Track's on there, Kutztown, Bedford's on there. Hagerstown's on there. There's a good bit of shows on there. So I know that we'll hope for good weather, get some good racing in. How about Jeff King in the limited late model, number 24? He's been running strong. Jeff King. That's right. I got to talk to Jeff back in the winter, and he's been doing decent. That's good. He was at Hagerstown this past weekend in that familiar number 24. We see Keith Walls returned in the 462. I believe he had a 7th place finish in the 462 this past weekend. He had his cast off. Remember, he broke his wrist at BAPS, okay, earlier in the year. So now he's back behind the wheel. So that's what we have, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. And we hope you got out to some of them fabulous shows. I know we did. We got a lot of live footage there we put out. And we had a blast. That's right, we had a blast. We're going to be hitting the road Friday to Elkins for Hunt the Front, weather permitting. I'm gonna go with it and say it's going to happen, okay? Saturday, we're going to be down in Winchester. East Coast Legends. I'm down there. Obviously, I'm a promoter, East Coast Legends. Down there supporting those folks. Modified Mafia, Winchester there as well. And then Sunday, we're going to make her down to Potomac. That's right, Budds Creek Sunday. For that $3,000 limited late model show down in David Williams land. That's right. It's going to be a good one. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you tuning in. Once again, I'm Tommy Cardell. This is the Bottom Line in Studio 2, brought to you by Chaz's Used Auto Parts. And, hey, get yourself out to the races this week. Support these guys. Local tracks, regional tracks, all the folks in all classes are out there trying to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to make it happen. The promoters, they're trying to make it happen. Everybody's trying to make it happen. We got to continue to make it happen if we want this thing to move forth. But neither here or there. Have a great rest of your week. And remember, whatever you do it with big energy and elbows up. Woo! We'll see you then.